Hey YouTube, how art thou? I hope thou art good. Today, let's talk about a city that's nicknamed the city that reads. But as someone once said, it should be called the city that bleeds. There's a lot of crime here. Of course, I'm talking about Baltimore. Now, on this list, crime rated is rated as an F. Keep that in mind. And I'm covering murder, rape, robbery, assault, violent crime, burglary, theft, vehicle theft, and property crime. So if your neighborhood is on this list or you plan on moving to one of these neighborhoods, there may be some activities going on here. Located in Maryland, and this city reminds me of its Philadelphia, Pennsylvania neighbor. Trash everywhere. Now, I'm from the hood, but I've seen certain things in this city that raises red flags. But if you're thinking about moving to Baltimore, watch my top dangerous areas of Baltimore, Maryland. Number 20, Beachfield, Irvington area. Now in the Beachfield, Irvington area, there's a population of 13,570 people. There is 15% more crime than the rest of Baltimore. The total crime is 134% more than the nation's average. And there are 6,043 crimes out of every 100,000 people. And that's total crimes. The property crime is 79% higher than the nation's average. There's also 2,104 violent crimes out of every 100,000 people. I know I went through these neighborhoods, right? Comment, like, subscribe if you want. Number 19, Fells Point. Fells Point has a population of 10,898 people. There's 2,176 violent crimes out of every 100,000 people. It's 19% more crime than the rest of Baltimore. The total crime is 172% higher than the nation's average. The property crime is 121% higher than the nation's average. And there are 7,028 total crimes out of every 100,000 people. Stay tuned to the end for some Baltimore trivia. Number 18, Charles Village. Charles Village has a population of 22,964 people. There are 2,200 violent crimes out of every 100,000 people. Charles Village has 20% more crime than the rest of Baltimore. The total crime is 20% higher than the nation's average. The property crime is 152% higher than the nation's average. And there are 7,746 total crimes out of every 100,000 people. Are you guys enjoying it so far? Let me know in the comments if you want. Number 17, Midway, Coldstream. Now in this area, there's a population of 10,629 people. There are 2,212 violent crimes out of every 100,000 people. There's 21% more crime than the rest of Baltimore. The total crime is 163% higher than the nation's average. The property crime is 108% higher than the nation's average, and there are 6,791 total crimes out of every 100,000 people. Number 16, Downtown. Downtown has a population of 4,268 people. There are 2,283 violent crimes out of every 100,000 people. Downtown has 25% more crime than the rest of Baltimore. The total crime is 205% higher than the nation's average. The property crime is 154% higher than the nation's average. And there are 7,881 total crimes out of every 100,000 people. Is this list accurate so far? Let me know in the comments. Number 15, Greater Rosemount. Now, the Greater Rosemount area has a population of 18,664 people. There are 2,488 violent crimes out of every 100,000 people. There is also 36% more crime than the rest of Baltimore. The total crime is 181% higher than the nation's average. The property crime is 116% higher than the nation's average. And there are 7,239 total crimes out of every 100,000 people. Is it true Baltimore people actually are called Baltimoreans? Let me know in the comments. Number 14, Dundalk City Side. Now, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but there's a population of 2,359 people. There are 2,510 violent crimes out of every 100,000 people. There is 37% more crime than the rest of Baltimore. The total crime is 302% higher than the nation's average. The property crime is 257% higher than the nation's average. And there are 10,371 total crimes out of every 100,000 people. Trivia time. In 1840, what was founded in Baltimore? The first A, nursing school, B, dental school, C, cardiology school, or D, high school? And if you guessed A, nursing school, you're wrong. But if you guessed B, dental school, then you are correct. Number 13, Madison East End. The Madison East End has a population of 4,383 people. It has 2,662 violent crimes out of every 100,000 people. There is 45% more crime than the rest of Baltimore. The total crime is 295% higher than the nation's average, and the property crime is 243% higher than the nation's average. And there are 10,201 total crimes out of every 100,000 people. What do you guys think it is? And if you guessed, number 12, Pimlico. Pimlico has a population of 5,819 people. There are 2,777 violent crimes out of every 100,000 people. Pimlico has 51% more crime than the rest of Baltimore. The total crime is 371% higher than the nation's average. The property crime is 327% higher than the nation's average. And there are 12,158 total crimes out of every 100,000 people. Number 11, Jonestown. Jonestown has a population of 3,053 people. There are 2,837 violent crimes out of every 100,000 people. Jonestown has 55% more crime than the rest of Baltimore. The total crime is 330% higher than the nation's average. The property crime is 276% higher than the nation's average. And there are 11,097 total crimes here out of every 100,000 people. Thanks for sticking around, guys. And number 10, Morrell Park. Morrell Park has a population of 6,002 people. There are 2,877 violent crimes out of every 100,000 people. It has 57% more crime than the rest of Baltimore. The total crimes are 273% higher than the nation's average. The property crime are 207% higher than the nation's average. And there are 9,621 total crimes out of every 100,000 people. Yeah, thanks for staying to the end. That was part 2 of the top dangerous areas in Baltimore, Maryland. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ... if you want. But overall, Baltimore seems to be, it's kind of sketchy, depending on the area that you move in. But until next time, I wish you guys nothing but the best.